Welcome back to the Real AF TV podcast show about fishing random takes from land 10,000 lakes. You've made it to the random take, and I always say welcome back, but that's just because this is a roughly 2-hour long podcast, and that is over on Spotify and iTunes and YouTube and all that stuff. If you're on YouTube on the Friday and you're catching just the random take, well, good. Glad you're here. You missed some crazy shit about lampreys. we really laid into how much those things creep us the fuck out.
Yeah. They are evil, I think, is the best.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I think you're right.
Evil.
Yeah.
Gotta be.
Every sci-fi movie would teach us that. Anyways.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we're not the only people that think it.
Right.
Every sci-fi movie director is just like, what's the most evil thing I can think of to have as an alien? And they just be like, giant space worm. And then just everybody's on board. They go, of course. What? Duh.
So obvious once you see it. All right. Let's get into the random take here. We are going to talk about summer pro sports.
Oh, America! Are you serious? It's
Are you
awesome, baby!
The jock jams.
Yeah, dude. I knew it. I knew there's just no way that couldn't be identified by someone our age immediately.
Yeah, if anybody else listening that doesn't know, like Josh queued that up. I didn't know it was coming. It's just like, oh, of course that's jock jams. I can't remember what year that was, but that was like, that's like the summer jam. Like it's just on the radio constantly. Oh, America, are you serious?
It's just like, you got jock jams. That's it. You hear that? You
jock
know
jams. It. Yep.
Funny thing, though, is it always reminds me, oh, no, it's not funny. I know why. Because of fucking Space Jam. I guarantee Space Jam used the same song that was on Jock Jams. Probably, who knows how that all happened. Was it organic? I don't know. But I bet you that there had to have been something connected there.
It's possible. Jock Jams was in like the weird ass era of where they started putting like real audio in the songs, and it was just weird. Where they're just like, here's Jock Jams. And it's like, and look at him go, and look at him go. He could go all the way. And then they just like
commentators in the song. Yeah. So you're right. Maybe there was just a basketball specific song that really got me.
Because they started doing it with movies too, where they'd have like the song play, and then like in the lull of the like where it's just like, here's the part where you just listen to the instruments.
Yep.
They would play like quotes from the movie. You had me at hello. And just like, why did it say you had me at hello?
What the fuck? What is going on here? And then you realize later, like that was the Jerry Maguire soundtrack edition.
Yeah, exactly.
And not the original song. And you're like, oh, well, somebody should give me a fucking heads up on that.
Yeah. And they did it with the Titanic one too. With the Celine Dion song.
Mm-hmm.
Near. Go, Jack. And just like, you just whispered, never let go.
What's going on here? Who directed that? Song sounds fucking weird now.
It was weird. They tried it with a couple more, and then everybody else is just like, okay, enough of this already. Can we just listen to the song? That was a fad that came and went pretty quick. They stopped doing it, never came back, never did it with another.
Don't do it again, please, producers.
No, never.
Just don't.
Stop.
We don't need it.
Stop.
The music's fine by itself, okay? You don't need to fucking throw in your. It feels like an ad in the middle of the song.
Yeah, if I want to hear quotes from the movie, I'll watch the fucking movie.
Exactly.
They don't do that in any other aspect of anything, you know. Just like you're not in the. I mean, in the movies, sometimes they'll do like little clips of the music, but that's in the background because that's what you do. You don't do it the other way around,
right? Yes.
You know.
Yeah. Yeah. Where you have dialogue that's playing over the song when the song you lower the song. You lower the levels on the song. Bring the dialogue back in, and then you swap it. That's a thing. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, it'd be like us just playing a song in the middle. Just you're just like music for a little while. And people would be like, "What are you guys doing?" And just like,
We
'Cause
just
we were
play
talking-
30 seconds of, songs in the middle of the podcast.
I think sometimes it could be funny, but for the most part,
Yeah.
like if you're doing a serious podcast and we're just talking about My Heart Will Go On, there's every once in a while we just click the play button
Yeah.
and like pause it and keep talking. Just like, what was that?
And now it's funny if you just lead in with it, and now in 2.5 minutes, I were to throw Your Heart Will Go On in the middle of the podcast. That's
right.
funny. That's a joke.
If you just use it as drops where I'm just like, all right, let's get into the first one. Near, far, where, and then you just cut it off there and we're back. It's just like, the randomness I think would make it funny.
Yeah, that is true. That is true.
I think I'm not.
But that's the thing about the music. They weren't trying to do it randomly. They were like trying to be artistic about it.
And also, these podcast episodes would be something that you listen to one time and then done. You know, like you listen to that one time and you heard that funny thing.
Yeah.
And I remember some of that stuff being like too, where the first time I heard it, I laughed. Where you're just like listening and then all of a sudden they play it and you just go, what the fuck was that? They just put movie lines in the middle of the movie now or the song.
Right. And the shitty part is it's on the fucking top 50 playlist. So every time you hear it on the radio, you have to hear the fucking dialogue.
Yeah, exactly. The first time you hear it, you're just like, oh, that was weird. And then like 20 times later, you're just like, oh my God, I don't want to hear these movie quotes anymore. just done with it.
Oh shit. Okay.
Oh, America! Are you serious? It's awesome, baby!
Awesome, baby. Let's get into the sports now that we went on a 5.5 minute fucking music rant. But is totally relevant. But I wanted to kick it off with I have this basketball association. There's one hockey song, and everybody knows what that is, but I don't have a cue for it. But anyways, there's one hockey song, and then everything else. Jock Jams for me was basketball. I don't know why. That's how it evolved in my life. And I was poking around because I've been thinking about baseball, and I'm like, what other people do? Because the NFL Network is a whole thing. I'm like, what do those guys fucking do in the summertime? They play replays. That's what they do. They get the fucking 60s and they play them again. But stumbled upon this thing, and I texted him about it prior to this, and I was like, I think this might be a topic. And I found the NBA Summer League.
Yeah.
Dude, I had to text you to figure out what the fuck it even was. Because all you can find is like schedules. And that's it.
Sure.
Like I was having such a hard time, and it just says something about rookies, but it doesn't go into any. It just every article that I tried to read prior to deep dive research, where I was just trying to find, like I said, what is this NBA Summer League? And they're like, here's the schedule. Yeah. Find the NBA Summer League, NBA 2K League Summer League, brought to you by the NBA. And it's like, what the fuck, man? And I had to text you.
Yeah.
And you cleared it up for me. What the fuck is it? Tell the people.
I think it's kind of like a multiple like aspects of it. Like how you said the 2K Summer League or whatever. Like they're also there right now, like in between playing. They're going like they get ready for the game, right? So they're like dressed to play.
Okay.
And then I believe it's like that same day that they're going in and they're getting their 2K like game work done.
Oh, no shit.
So yeah, so they're like sitting there on like a stool and there's like a bunch of cameras.
They get scanned.
Yeah, they get scanned because they're, these rookies are like the legit guys that have been drafted are getting that work done. G League dudes and stuff like that, like they're not getting that. But
so tell what the league is though, because I do remember, but I just want you to explain it again, so I'm even kicking off on a good foot here.
So it's basically like a tournament of like all the new guys with the rookies and stuff, and I don't know 100%, so don't quote me on this. I don't know 100% about like which players are allowed, but like all you see is rookies and like the G League guys, like
minor
the
league
G
players,
right? Exactly. The basketball minor leagues are called the G Leagues, and they have their own different teams and stuff too.
Sure.
So they basically just get together, and it's like some of the rookies that you've heard of that just got drafted, some of your other guys you might hear of because we've had them like on 10-day contracts or whatever,
Whoa.
because there's do you know about those?
No.
So in the NBA, when there's injuries and stuff, you don't have a roster like you have with football and stuff.
Oh.
So because the roster's not that big, if you have a couple of injuries and guys are going to be gone for a while, you got to fill a spot. And if you can't trade or make a move or like sign a free agent that's out there, you pull your guys up from the G League.
Oh.
So you get guys that are relatively good at playing basketball, but they're just not quite to that NBA level. They're just like, there's something off about their game or whatever it happens to be.
Yeah.
That they didn't want to sign them to a full contract.
Okay.
So you can bring them in for that 10-day contract and they'll literally come up and be able to play for you while your guy is hurt. Like, we need to fill a space.
That's pretty
have
dope.
Too many injuries. Yeah. So they'll have their 10-day contract. They come up. Sometimes they get reinstated. I don't know what all the rules are there where if it's just like, here's your 10 days, we'll give you another 10 days. I know Luka Garza, it was a rookie last year and we had him on our team, but he like didn't dress for any of the games. And it was some weird red tape stuff where it's like, we didn't want to activate him because if we activated him, then we wouldn't be able to use him later in the year.
What?
Like there was like you could only use him for like a short amount of time because he was like one of those G League roster type players. And I think he was like the MVP of the G League All-Star game or whatever it was, some weird thing like that. It was weird, like where he's hoisting up a trophy and you're just like, it's awesome that you won it. I have no idea what that is though, but good for you.
I'm glad you're really good at something basketball. I mean, props to you, but I don't fucking get it.
Yeah. Glad you're like the best of the guys that couldn't make it or something. I don't know.
Or like, I don't know.
But yeah, it was something like that where he was like on the bench, not dressed for every game, but he was there like ready if we needed him. Weird. And the reason we never, because I was always just like, he's really good. Like, can't we just put him in? And then they'd say it's just like, well, he's like good, but like if we activate him, then we might not have him when we need him later. And just like, okay, whatever that means.
Weird.
Yeah.
Almost like they have 30 days and that's it. They get 3 times they can get called up from the G League or some shit.
Yeah, it's something where
he's got 3 lives, man. We can't burn them all.
Yeah, where it's like we have too many people that are technically on the roster and we can use this temporary guy so many times before we would have to physically cut somebody to make room for him. I think it was kind of what it factors out to be, but I don't want to say for sure because I don't know, but I do know it was
you're speculating based on your years
speculating off of parts of things I've heard, it's half facts.
Yeah.
Where they're like, there's definitely
it's a halfway educated guess. I get it.
Yes.
That works.
It's basically a tournament where it's like all these guys, they are there, the Wolves are being represented by the Timberwolves. They're either guys that are on, from my understanding, they're either guys that are on our G League or that are rookies that haven't, played yet. They're just brand new.
Okay.
And then it's the same thing with all the other teams. So you have all the teams in the league have,
representation. Like they all play.
Yeah.
However many teams. I'm not up on NBA, but like every team brings a team to the table. Or to the tournament, I should say. And so they're really, so there's the G League, and I'm going to make this up completely. You can go look up the G League on your own, or if Tim, but like, for instance, there's the Minnesota Timberwolves. They play out of Minneapolis. Then there is I don't know. I'm going to make this up completely. But then there are the Minnesota Gray Wolves, and they are out of Moorhead, Minnesota. And that's the G League affiliate of what amounts to the Minneapolis Timberwolves. That's a different team, right? Like the G League is not the Timberwolves, right?
Yeah.
It's not the Minnesota Timberwolves.
Here's the weird thing is that I just had to Google it because I knew it wasn't here. The weird thing is that it's not even out of Minnesota. The G League Wolves are the Iowa Wolves.
That's the same as the Wild, dude.
Is it?
Yeah. So they had they had the Houston Aeros were our minor league hockey team.
Yeah.
And they moved them up to Iowa, and they just call them the Iowa Wild. Is it just that simple?
Weird.
Yeah.
And that's the same thing with ours. I don't know why it's in Iowa.
Yeah, I don't know either. That's interesting.
Yeah, but they're like legit jerseys. It says Iowa Wolves.
Yeah, just
Iowa
Wolves, right?
Wolves.
They're not the Timberwolves. They're just the Iowa Wolves.
Yeah.
Or
It says Iowa Wolves. It says Iowa above Wolves.
above Wolves. Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Okay. So these are legit teams representing a different city, and they're a minor league team. So when we go to this tournament in the summer, when we go to this NBA Summer League, that's NBA. So they're playing as the Minnesota Timberwolves. They're playing as the San Antonio Spurs, right? Like,
correct. Yeah, these are the actual. Yeah, so they're representing, which is weird because like I mean, they just get to split time. That's what Luka was. That Luka Garza is a member of the Iowa Wolves. But he kept sitting on the bench for all the Wolves games, like as a player, and then did play for us every once in a while.
Yeah, for he benched the T-Wolves. He was playing on the bench for the T-Wolves.
Yep.
But he was actually a team member of the Iowa Wolves.
Right. And it's like you're a team member for both. It's weird like that. And that's what the G League, or that's what this the Summer League is.
Is them guys to show each other, like, it's to show off their skills, right? It's almost like recruiting in a way.
Yeah, I think it's like a recruiting. You want to see how everybody's doing. Sometimes I think you're trying to make decisions on, what you could do or who you could cut. Like, you drafted your guys because you watched them a lot on tape and you got to see how they played under somebody else's coaching.
Right.
But now you get to coach them yourself, so you get to see how well they take direction, because as a coach, you don't get to see all that stuff. You get to see how well they did and what they did, what they did and didn't do. But you don't always get to see, like, that was a good move. Was he supposed to do that?
Right.
Was he going where he was supposed to go?
Or did he just happen to be in the right place at the right time? And that's a nice highlight reel.
Exactly. So it's kind of stuff like that where they're really learning on what they can and can't do. And those G League guys, just like that Luka Garza, you're learning. All right, I really like his skill set. I like what he can do. If we have this injury to this player, he's the guy that will.
How does he fit into
he'll fill that role.
How does he fit into a 5-man team?
Yep. And because they got nothing going on in the summer, it's like, here's our,
right.
Here's where we can figure stuff out, because
workshop some shit.
It's a lot like the preseason of the NFL, where they only have a short amount of time where they're like doing these scrimmage games, but the NFL is so much more physical.
Right.
You're risking injury by playing those kind of games, where basketball is like, you're risking injury, but it's not full contact.
I mean, just like anything physical at all. I mean, even to tie it into fishing, right? Like, if out on practice day, sure, you could fucking activate your tennis elbow, and then what happens come tournament day,
Yeah, exactly.
It's physical. There's a risk of injury no matter what. But I understand what you mean, because football is just so much more physical in the sense of, like, you have to tackle.
Right.
There's no way getting around tackling.
Right. Exactly. It's 100% like the name of the game is, I need to get you to the ground. Right. And I need to try to stay up.
Right.
That doesn't happen in basketball,
Right. And even in hockey, you can see that, because the physicality of hockey is nobody doubts that hockey's physical.
Right.
But in the, like, all-star game, we'll say, they don't check each other. They just don't.
Exactly.
They'll push each other into the boards gently. You see those two people, on a different day in a real game, and that one person's getting fucking laid out against the boards, you know?
Yeah. That was the same with the NFL. And that's why this last year, the Pro Bowl was fucking flag football, because they don't tackle anyways.
No way. It was?
Yeah.
I thought they were just playing like holy shit. I thought that was, whoa.
Yeah, they played flag football this year because they don't tackle anyways. So they're just like, why don't we just change it up and
Was it
make
cool?
it be a?
Did you watch it?
I didn't get a chance to watch the actual game, but I watched all the highlights of the like skills challenge and stuff.
Yeah,
So
those are fun.
that was still fun to watch.
I
always
love
watch
watching that
stuff.
part of it.
Yeah,
Any
it's
all-star
cool
game,
that they
you just
started.
give me that.
Yeah,
I'm cool.
It's cool that they started like implementing like different skill stuff too, where it's not just like football. Like they'll have a dodgeball game. There's a game of dodgeball between the two teams.
Dude,
So it's
hell
stuff
yeah.
like that where it's just like, yeah, dude, let's watch them play
That's
dodgeball.
super cool.
Like,
hell yeah.
you get like a bunch of the best athletes in the world to just go
Right.
at each other in a different sport.
Yeah,
let's
that's
watch
fucking
it.
cool. What a great
Yeah.
idea.
Yeah.
Holy
So
shit.
it's fun stuff like that where it's not like a combine type thing. It's not like, all right, we're gonna see who can run the fastest and jump the highest. It's like one of them's like a highlight reel catch. Like we're gonna throw the ball and you have a mat
A foam pit
that
or
you
something.
can land on.
Fuck yeah.
And that's what they did this year where
It's like the dunk contest, but for
yeah,
wide
exactly.
receivers.
That's what it was like. Like Justin Jefferson went up and like caught two balls at the same time, type of stuff like that. Like stuff you just wouldn't ever see in real life because that's not how the game works.
Right.
But yeah, cool stuff like that.
That's fucking sick.
I was gonna say, back to the G League. Another reason it exists is because it showcases these new guys. These guys just came out, and instead of having them be on a team where they may be the fifth man, they may be coming off the bench, whatever it is.
Yep.
These guys are starters in the G League. So when they get drafted and you see them and you want to know what they're all about and you want to see them play, like now they're put on the forefront because there's a decent amount of people that don't even watch college ball or didn't follow the team that they were coming from because maybe you watch, we're from Minnesota. Maybe we watch the Gophers, but we don't care about the rest of the teams in the college game because there's so many of them.
Right.
And then when it gets to, that guy from Georgia or whatever that I never paid attention to is now on my team.
Right.
I want to see what he's all about. Now I get to watch him in my jersey.
Right.
Play against other people in the NBA. So it's cool. And then you get to see him against other rookies too. So then you get these matchups of just like, this was the biggest matchup in college. These two rookies. And now these two rookies are playing in the summer league. So now we get to see them in the next level.
Right.
Playing against each other. So it's cool stuff like that.
I
tuned in. Like I wanted to see that guy from the Spurs, the number 1 draft pick.
Okay.
Dude is like just a giant of a man, except for he's just really big. He's really tall. He's not like if you follow basketball, you got like Boban.
Okay.
You ever seen John Wick? I think it's the 3rd one.
I haven't. But keep going still.
John Wick 3, Boban is in there, and he's like one of the assassins that like John Wick has to take out.
Yeah. You've told me this before. I don't know if it's on or off pod, but like keep going.
I'm not ruining anything.
No.
There's no spoilers here. John Wick literally has to kill everyone or he dies. So
that's the premise of the movies.
That's the whole thing.
Right.
If you didn't see it on the first one, then the next, I think they're on 4.
They're on 4 now.
I haven't seen 4, and they're literally just trying to kill him, and he just keeps killing everybody. But Boban is like 7 whatever. He can grab the rim without jumping. He's just standing there, like holding the rim, standing there.
Oh my God.
And I think this kid's the same, except for he can shoot the 3. Like
nice.
Everybody's, he can shoot because he's just lanky. I got
so you watch the league. That's what you're saying, right? Jesus, this fucking topic, this is going to be, I have other notes for other summer things, but I think we're just going to end up stuck on the fucking NBA summer league. But anyways, so you watched it? Like you have a channel that you can watch the summer league on?
I was on YouTube TV, and I don't know what channel it was being broadcasted on, but they don't have much else to play. So they're excited to put on whatever, but it was, I watched, I can't remember which teams I watched play first, but I definitely wanted to see the Spurs because they got that. His name is Victor, and I'm sure I'll get way better at saying this name. in the future. It's just like
as you hear announcers say it and shit, right?
yeah, because it's
he's
just
going
like
pro. He's going to be called up to the bigs.
Yeah, it's Victor Wembanyama.
Okay.
Wembanyama.
Oh.
Wembanyama, and I think he's French. Like,
oh,
that's weird.
So that means it's probably
But
pronounced some different.
He is
way.
7'5".
Jesus Christ, dude. That's a giant person. I'm sitting in a room that's only 7'5".
Mm-hmm. He's like 2 or 3 inches taller than Shaq.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Oh my God. And if you've ever seen Shaq stand next to somebody, that's a giant human. You remember the basketball with Shaq's palm on it, or Shaq's hand on it?
Yeah.
That was printed on. It was like half the fucking ball. You're like, Jesus.
Oh, it's nuts. And then you're just like, those guys can palm the ball. Like, he's not even trying.
It's pretty much a softball to that guy.
Go hold one of those mini balls and then just be like, this is what it feels like to be Shaq.
Yep.
Yeah.
So let me, it looks like you're looking something up. So I'm going to go on
Shaq.
a little bit.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. I just real quick, because I found it. Shaq is 7'1". This guy's 4 inches taller than Shaq is.
Holy shit.
Yeah. And he can shoot the three. Shaq couldn't.
Do you think he just
throws.
drives like a fucking Sprinter van? Like, is that the only thing he can fit in?
Shaq drove an Escalade that was custom made. So it's like the biggest SUV you can buy.
Right.
It had to be like custom made.
And it still had to be custom fitted.
Yeah. So dude, a Sprinter van, maybe. I don't know.
Probably still has to be custom fitted.
Because with the gas pedal and stuff, those legs are so long, the knees.
Right.
Nobody else is built like him. So you don't build a car to accommodate a dude like that.
No. Right. You just can't. How do you sell to normal people? Like, you can't.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fucking crazy to think about. So this is one thing that I wanted to get into quick before this is, no, let me do this quick. The fact that this is called the NBA 2K League, NBA Summer League, bugs the fuck out of me, because
I don't like the way that sounds either.
it sounds so horrible, but also, like, it's cool that they get to do their scan and everything. It's like, oh, these guys are going to be in the game. Like, let's get them in the fucking game. That's cool. But the NBA, it's called the NBA 2K. It's the NBA 2K24 NBA Summer League or some shit like that. It's the worst name ever. But the problem is there's the NBA 2K League. That's the professional video game league. The people who play NBA 2K professionally. So this, when as a video game guy, as somebody who follows esports very lightly, it just makes me go, oh, that's such horrible naming. Couldn't they just have said, like, I don't know. They shouldn't have. It was bad. It's bad. It feels weird because it feels like they're crossing. These guys are going to be playing video games and real basketball. It's like, I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyways.
No, it's convoluted. It's not a great name.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe there is something else going on there. Maybe they do have that going on. But I will
which
say,
I don't know. I should know because I keep up with the T-Wolves.
Yeah.
Pro League fairly decently.
Sure. Yeah. And I follow them on Instagram, and I can't even remember what our guy's name is. Leonard Miller. Leonard Miller is our new rookie. He was the top guy we took because we traded away a bunch of first round picks to get Rudy Gobert. So he was like,
you're talking about real basketball now.
Yes. Yeah. So,
yes.
But he's playing in the summer league because he's a rookie, you know?
Right.
So Leonard Miller is in the real team. He's one of the guys that had the scans done because he was like, I think like the second pick in the second round. We didn't have any first round picks because we traded him away or whatever. Mm-hmm. But he got the scan.
So he was technically the T-Wolves first pull in the rookie, or in the draft.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Gotcha.
So he got the scan done, and then I saw like after the scan was done or whatever, he was handed a copy of the game and a PS5.
Fucking A, dude.
They're just like,
That
here you
is
go, dude.
so sick.
Yeah. So I don't know if there is some gaming crossover, but
Right.
it's definitely like we're also taking pictures of the game
Mhm.
and here's the game and the
Right.
system to play it on. So it's
Right.
like
So 2K
maybe
is
there is
like really in there.
yeah, yep.
Yeah.
So they're definitely, pushing it. It's
Right.
not just a sponsored deal. It's a like we are part of this. So maybe there is
Right.
more
So
going
yeah,
on
that does
there.
make me wonder if the 2K League is actually playing right now too. Like maybe they went too. This was speaking of they went. I meant they went to Vegas because here's what I was very surprised to see about the league, the summer league. All the games are played in one stadium, Sacramento,
Yeah.
and they play a few games, and then they go to Salt Lake
Yep.
and they play a few games. And so I don't know. You have to imagine that means that Golden State has an advantage and that, the Jazz have an advantage. And then they go to
Sure.
Vegas. Vegas
Yeah.
is like the majority of the tournament.
Right. Exactly.
When did Vegas get a fucking basketball, or did one of the casinos just build a basketball court in their arena? Like what? Who the fuck, man? Is Vegas trying to get a basketball team now too?
It's possible that it was just a casino. I don't know. It's been the summer league in Vegas for a while now. So I don't know. It's like it doesn't travel. It doesn't move around. It's just where
there.
it is. I don't know.
Maybe they just play inside the fucking Golden Knights Stadium. We've turned the Excel Center into a basketball court before, so
yeah, it's not hard because they do
just put hardwood on top of the ice.
Take
down the walls. There you go, basketball court.
yeah.
Just like basketball court in the summertime, flood it in the winter, ice rink. Like that's how parks work around Minnesota. So I guess
Vegas has a college team.
What?
So
holy shit. God, it's so weird to think about Vegas as a normal place.
Right. Yeah, I don't know how popular it is, but
so maybe they're playing there, you think?
Maybe it has that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure. I gotta check again.
Because they could just build, yeah. Well, that's interesting. So they have always been in Vegas. So obviously there's money being bet on these games too. I mean, let's not dance around that. Let me ask you this. Because this was...
Yeah, UNLV.
Of course I know who UNLV is. I just didn't put it all together.
Yeah.
They're decent. Yeah?
Yeah, they're okay. They're not like that top tier, like even in their football. It's not like that.
I actually know. I feel like I know about it from the basketball tournament, from like the March Madness. Well, maybe not that far, but
I want to say that like they're not that. Well, no, they must be just like the Division 1A, because there's like the Division 1A and then there's the Division 1 like double A.
Mm-hmm.
But I think they are just like straight up Division 1, because I think the Division 1 double A is like slightly different. I don't know. Now I'm just kind of talking on my ass.
But I just two guys talking in the garage drinking beers now at this point.
But I know that they're not like the top tier. But I think I think the UNLV does do pretty good in basketball. A lot better than they do in football.
Yeah, I think so too, because I think that's where I recognize them from. So I do wonder if that means that, maybe that's where they're playing. Because obviously the kids aren't in school, so what the fuck else is that stadium doing, right?
Right. Yeah, and then you probably get, people that are like just kind of hanging around. Oh, that makes a lot of sense too. Now that we say it, because they're right there is all your housing too. Like you got all the dorms and stuff. They're not being used in the summer. Here's all the space that you guys can stay during.
And you fly in these rookies and stuff like that, and you put them in the dorms for this. Yeah, because it's not being used. Yeah, that's probably what is happening.
And they just left college, so they're just like, they're not all uppity expecting a nice hotel yet.
Right.
Put them in the dorm. They know about dorms.
They already fucking know what the dorm life is. They're used to that shit. Just put them in there. Good point. Okay, so the thing I was going to ask you, the championship. Okay. The day this podcast drops is the championship is that night. Like
Okay.
the day the podcast releases, the summer league championship game is that evening.
Okay.
What does it mean? Does it mean anything? Is it like hosting up? Is it this, like you were talking about, the guy from the T-Wolves hosting it, holding up this trophy, getting all fucking excited, and I guess you're the best of the guys who didn't make it?
Yeah, exactly. I don't think there is. I think it's bragging rights. I think it's just to be like, kind of be like, yeah, you guys got the number 1 pick. We didn't even get a pick in the first round. And what's up?
Right.
What's up? That's, it's just kind of bragging rights. Like, people just get excited. It's fun. I think, I honestly, I was kind of telling you, I think it's a goal for them to strive for, to get them to play harder, to have it be like there's nothing at stake here. If we win, I don't know, maybe they get a little bit of money their way, which is probably exciting for those kids, because even though they're coming up into the league and actually making some money now, a lot of them haven't really had that opportunity to make money. So when you're telling them, maybe there's some sort of a cash incentive of first place. I know like the Pro Bowls and stuff are like that, where the winner gets more money than the losers, but they're also fucking rich that they don't even care.
That they don't even care. Yeah. Like
they're Pro
that amount of
Bowl
money doesn't motivate
players.
them.
Yeah. No, not at all. They're just like, it's the difference between 50,000 and 30,000. And they're just like, so it's like the difference of me playing like an extra 3 minutes in a game. Like,
right. It's literally 3 minutes.
Literally 3 minutes. I might have said this stat on here before, but the WNBA is definitely different than, I think the WNBA is almost on par for like the G League as far as like price and stuff.
Pay,
because it's all about how many people you come to get out to the game, like not trying to make it into like a which sex does better in basketball or
no
whatever,
you're talking about
like
it from a financial perspective, like simply like financially. I get it.
from financial points, like that's how it works. So the Lynx and the female ball players make far less money because they don't bring in as many people to watch the game. So at Garnett's prime, when he had signed his big contract
with the Celtics or with us?
With us. Okay. When he was with us and we gave him his big like 5-year deal or whatever it happened to be, Garnett would make this the highest paid player on the Lynx. He would make her full year's salary in 1 minute. 1
minute on the court?
1 minute of one game, he would make her full year's salary.
Holy shit. That's fucking crazy to think about, dude.
Yeah.
Wow.
But when you think about being like one of the biggest stars in the NBA and how many fans and how many people,
how many jerseys does he sell and how much
jerseys? Yes, there's so much to it. Like,
oh, for sure, it's economics, and like you're 100% correct with this. It's economics. You are not talking about female basketball and male basketball. You are talking about economics.
Economics,
simple.
Yes, and
that's all there is to it.
And I also wasn't talking about like the highest paid WNBA player.
You were talking about the highest played on our team, even though they were a championship team that year and they should have had the highest player in the NBA. That's not how it always works.
Right. Exactly. Happens.
Yep, for sure. Before we wrap, Tim, I want to ask you one question because you were already kind of looking at jerseys and stuff like that. And so I have a curiosity of, did you see anything around the summer league of like merch? Is there anything special about those jerseys that they go out and wear during this tournament? Because no. I know throughout the year, and you've talked about it before, they have special jerseys that come out. I don't know what an example is right now off the top of my head, but baseball, they'll get the Digicam. They'll have like Digicamo brims on their hat.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then you can go buy that Also, they'll make that merch and then you can go buy that merch. And so this is a special NBA event. Is there anything special about the jerseys? Do you know? I don't mean to put you on the spot because I know you didn't dive in, but
No,
like,
so I don't know. I don't think so, but like I was looking at them where the numbers and the lettering on the front looks a little bit different.
oh,
And the only thing I see when I look at it is just like, I don't know if that is a summer league specific deal or if those are something that like, that's just kind of how we changed. But it does look a little bit more like the Iowa, the font, you know.
So specifically talking about the Wolves franchise, the Timberwolves franchise, you're saying specific to that group, the summer league jersey looks more like the G League jersey, but they are definitely playing a full Timberwolves, like Minnesota Timberwolves game for the NBA team while they're in Vegas.
Yes.
Interesting.
Yeah.
See, okay. So that the reason why I ask is because that makes me pumped. Like I'd be so stoked to see somebody wearing one of those fucking jerseys. Like I just went to the mall and somebody had a summer league jersey on. I'd be like, that guy, he fucking gets it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, totally. Well, and I was just looking at them. They do have the same like main sponsor.
Oh,
During, you know, like, because are you familiar with the sponsors on everybody's jerseys?
yeah. The NBA now sells a patch on the shoulder.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
each team has a different sponsor, and it's the same in the G League as it is, but I don't know if it's the same as the Iowa Wolves.
Gotcha.
So that's maybe.
Right.
I don't know.
Interesting. Just a thought that I
it's-
wanted to wrap up with, I guess, basically.
Yeah.
Anything else?
Dude, when I'm looking at the Iowa Wolves, it doesn't look like they do have the same sponsor.
Oh,
So I don't know. But it is kind of like the same text, but that one looks like it has a completely different sponsor, like on the stomach underneath.
yeah. Like the WNBA has that, I believe.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's definitely slightly different, but we'll have to see. Maybe when it starts. These days there's so many different jerseys and alternate jerseys and stuff
Right.
that maybe it's normal and we're just getting to see a little bit of it first.
The preview is this summer. Yeah. That makes a lot of sense. Yeah.
So we'll see. But no, I don't think I got much to say about summer. I know that like we went and saw the minor league ball here in town on just Thursday.
Sweet.
Got some tickets from work and brought Beckett.
Bitchin'.
And then as soon as we're done, he's like, I want to be a baseball guy. Just like, all right, dude. Like, I'm glad that you enjoyed yourself.
Yeah,
when you were
dude.
checking it out.
The Rocks you're talking
Yeah.
about? You hadn't seen the Rocks?
Yep.
I had them down,
Yep.
but like we already hit our time limit and I was going to like talk about that. But
Yeah.
no, that's sick, dude. I love that. You got to go see that and he was pumped on it. Hell yeah.
Yeah. So just a little bit of insight. I guess that's what I'll finish it off with. Just be like, that's what we're doing as far as summer sports is went and checked out some minor league ball.
That's what I try to do.
Because why not?
I love what I try to like watching those minor league games. I just love it because it's still good ball. It's still good ball,
Yeah.
but it's cheaper. It's like it's affordable and it's still just as fun.
Yeah. And those kids are talented, man.
For sure.
They're fast as hell. I was looking at them just being like, damn, those kids are fast. Like when they're like the ball's flying and they take off running to go grab it and just like, geez, dude.
The quick.
Or when they get a base hit and they're like running as fast as they can to first because they know that they might get out.
Yep.
It's like some of those kids are like,
that full sprint.
damn, dude,
I
that
know.
was fast.
It's like damn near track stars, man.
Mhm, exactly.
It's nuts.
Yep. Yeah, so that's cool to see. And then I'm just sitting there just jealous. Like I was trying to run when we were playing kickball with the nieces and just like, oh, no way. My time to first wasn't even close to that.
And it was half the distance. Fuck.
Right.
right, man. Well, wrap it up. The like, subscribe, do that thing, you know. It's much appreciated. That is going to be it. I'm just going to keep it nice and simple and end it there. That's it. But that can't end it yet because I got something to tell Tim. I mean, me and Tim's conversation can't end yet. We're good. The podcast is over, all right? Yeah.